So it says we are now officially being live streamed. Very, very exciting. This should also have a closed captioning on it as well. For anyone who, like me, prefers to watch with captions. But welcome everyone to the Red or Green Books author talk for August 2024. I can't believe we're already into August. Oh my gosh. Where did the year go? How interesting this year has been, and I'm very excited to introduce Quinn Collard to Red or Green Books and to our community. She is one of our debut authors here in 2024. If you missed her feature at The Word Is Right, go to the Facebook page or to the YouTube channel, and you can catch her feature there, as well as the Red or Green Books YouTube channel. So please like, share, subscribe, and follow everywhere on social media. That helps us get these authors in front of more people. So that would be wonderful if you could please do that. We are live streaming on our Facebook page for Red or Green Books as well. Like I said before, you can go and pull that live video without having to have a Facebook account. So that's pretty awesome. And you can share that. All right, so some quick announcements. The New Mexico Poetry Summit is coming up here in September, the 13th, 14th, and 15th here in Albuquerque. I got to meet Quinn and her lovely mother when they were here in Albuquerque a couple months ago. And it's just so much fun when you get to meet these authors in person. You spend a lot of time working with them, and then you get to meet them. And it's very exciting for me. So that was a great time. The summit tickets are on sale. If you are coming to the summit, you can use the coupon code EARLYBIRD24 to get the early bird prices on that. But we have poets flying in from all over the world, from all over the U.S., and of course all over New Mexico. It's a 3-day summit, power packed with performances. Then we also have the September book club is going to be Laura Lila, who's another debut poet. And so she'll be in September, but it'll be the 4th, I believe the 4th September, because the 3rd September is during the summit. So we won't be doing book club during the summit. All right, so that's pretty much it for announcements. If you have never been to The Word Is Right, that is our sister platform. It's our performing arts platform, and we have shows just about every day of the week, whether they're workshops, whether there are podcasts, or they are open mics and with featured readers. Oh, that's right. The podcast we are launching is American Graveyard Calls to End Gun Violence. That is our anthology that we put out last year. And between the 2 books that we produced for American Graveyard, there's a full color art book, and then there's a literary anthology as well. There's 26 states and 8 countries represented. It's a huge thing that we're undertaking. And so the podcast live will debut the first the first Saturday of every month. And I believe it'll be 2 p.m. Eastern. Will be the time on that. And so it's free to come and attend. And of course, we'll be uploading it everywhere. So if you follow the pages, you'll be able to get those announcements, and you can tune in and listen to the discussions that we have about the gun violence epidemic in this country. All right, so today is a pretty easy book club, super fun. We really just introduce you to the new author. There's a special $5 coupon code in this month to get Quinn's book, and the coupon code is SHATTER. So if you go to the website and you ring out her book, use the coupon code SHATTER, it should give you $5 off of her book. That would be a wonderful way for her to get her book out there, but also for you to get a little bit of a discount. So each month, if you wait for book club, each month you can collect a new book and save a little bit of money. And all of the sales of the book online on our website go to Quinn in the month of her book club. So that's really important for these authors to make some extra money. Quinn will let us know today where you can buy the book directly from her, so you can have a signed copy if you would like, and all that good stuff. So I'll have Quinn talk a little bit about herself. I'll have her talk about her book, kind of the story, the journey to And Shatter Me with Dawn, and what you can expect when you read the book and go through it and experience it. Also tell people where to find you, follow you online, as well as where they can buy your book. And then we'll go into her feature. I'll read Emily Cortez's wonderful review of your book, and then give you a full featured set of up to 30 minutes. You go over, that's fine. You don't take as much time, that's fine. I'll keep track of the time. So if you need to know how much time you have, let me know and I'll update you with that. And then we'll come back together like this, kind of informally, and just do a little Q&A. Like I said before, if anyone has a question for Quinn, you're welcome to either type it in the chat, or you can raise your hand, you can unmute and ask the question. And I have given full reign and full authority for Quinn to not answer any questions she does not want to answer. So you may ask and she may not answer, and that is totally fine. And that's a fun way historically people have gotten to know the author. All right, so without further ado, I will turn it over to Quinn to introduce herself and her book and where to order it, talk about her journey to her book titled And Shatter Me with Dawn, and then we'll go into the review and your feature, my friends. So let me spotlight you and go ahead and take it away.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for showing up for my big feature thing today. I am so glad to see some good, reliable friends and my mom, and be joined here live in person by my kitty, poetic inspiration Smokey, and my beau Andrew, and all the love, all the support. Thank you, everyone. So my name is Quinn Collard, and my book is called And Shatter Me with Dawn, which is a title I took from an Emily Dickinson poem. I have many poetic influences, but Emily is sort of patron saint of this particular project in some ways. Um, I have structured the book into quarters, each loosely based around a different season. And like Emily, finding lots of inspiration in the natural world, but also in the internal world, and how those two things can reflect each other and sort of illuminate each other in interesting ways. I have been writing since I was a very, very small child, crystallizing especially in my second grade class with shout out to the awesome Mrs. Bale at Land Old Elementary in Friendswood, Texas, who gave us lots of really cool writing exercises in her class that literally changed my life, because here I am with a whole professionally published book all these years later. So it's been yeah, Marissa used the word journey, which is definitely appropriate. I feel like this has been uh, a long time coming, but here we are. Yeah, I've been continuing to just scribble bits and pieces my whole life. I make a lot of zines, which are a super cool DIY way to self-publish work and get it out there and trade things with other cool people. And that's something I'm continuing to do, even with this book. And I feel like if now I'm on a rambling roll and I'm just going to take up the whole time and not read any poems if I don't catch myself. But I will say quickly, so I don't forget, that you can purchase the book directly from me at quinncollard.com. Uh, I have removed the template things that were still on that page that I didn't realize were there for interior design, which is not me. But thank you, Squarespace, for giving nice templates, but also not making it obvious when the template parts are still there. So you can go to that site and you can get a copy of my book and not get any interior design. I'm sorry. And I am a typewritten girl on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I have not been keeping up with those lately because it's been such a push to just get this book out. But once things cool down a little bit, I'm planning to start using those to give some updates on what's going on with me and my work. And I think that's all I've got for right now, Marissa.
Awesome. Okay, this sounds wonderful. I'm so excited. I cannot wait until this book arrives and I get to like look at it. It's so beautiful, you guys. Yeah, it really is a lovely book. I'm gonna go ahead and read the review by the lovely Emily Cordes, who is twice published now here with Red or Green Books. And if you are watching this, maybe you're watching this at a later date, you can go to the website, redorgreenbooks.com, but Red, READ. You can read Quinn's bio. You can read her review. You can, of course, get her book in the month of August with the $5 coupon code SHATTER. You can read up also on all of the debut authors, every book that we've ever published, all of the authors, all the things that we do. Is a wonderful resource, that website, for being able to read these wonderful young people is just amazing. All right, so Emily Cordes, she, by the way, Emily is the reason why Quinn and I got in touch with each other. So big shout out to Emily and that connection and trusting me to take good care of your friend. Thank you so much, Emily. All right, she says, channeling poetic spark through singing typewriter keys. Quinn Collards and Shatter Me with Dawn cast a quiet spell, evoking the magic and beauty in life's smallest details. From incantation start to elegiac conclusion, its poems carry us through winter's silent strength, spring's bright exuberance, summer's incendiary rush, and fall's haunting remembrance, threaded with lush imagery and a skillful blend of darkness and light. Luckily for us, this enchanting debut is only the beginning. So I would encourage all of you. I know, right?
I've read it already, but I'm still like, just listening to that. It's
It never gets
overwhelming.
old. It never gets old. I love this. Oh my God, I'm so excited. But I will invite everyone to unmute your mics, give a huge round of applause, give Quinn a bunch of cheering as we welcome her to the mic for her feature set today. Let's go, Quinn Collard!
And yes, special thanks to Emily, who is a friend of mine from Smith College. I'm actually going to a Smith picnic for Seattle alums later today, so I will maybe be able to use that as the hook for everybody. Like, oh, Smithies supporting Smithies. All right. So, as I said, my book's in seasonal quadrants. I'm starting today with some of the autumnal poems because, much as I hate to admit it, it's feeling a little bit like we're starting to move in that direction here, although we are getting a little bit of blue sky still here today in Seattle. And we got a true thunderstorm last night, which is super rare and made me feel very charged up with power for sure. So, this first one is called Bonfire. I empty out myself, the aching memories, the half-forgotten dreams, the broken dead circuitry scattered inside my skull. I strike a match. This one is called The Night Travelers. Made of shadow, made of light. Those little creeping chills, something wicked. If only it were so easy. Out of the celluloid, out of the past, out of the rain, leaving nothing but breathless bodies and the smell of the sea. And I'm to close up the autumnal quadrants here. This one is called By Day, the Moth is Quiet, but at night, very restless. Beating my battered wings against the thick glass of the window. Pale, ghostly Catherine begging to be allowed inside, out of the frosty moors. The slice of the clock's face after the witching hour is struck, but before dawn's fingers run rosy finger paints along the edge of the horizon. The moon bleaching everything until it turns unsettlingly alien is when your scars hum most insistently. And now some winter poems. Queen of Snow, which is the one part of winter I absolutely adore. It was snowing the day I was born in Texas, unusual event. So the snow and I have a very special connection. Falling is the easy part. Snow on the ground and a song in my skull. Soft white blanket on the sidewalks and rooftops, familiar street corners suddenly rendered mysterious. The flakes scattering under the lamplight like ashes in the wind are surely sending me a message to unravel, their crystalline edges spelling out a code. This one's called Citrus. In January, I dream of oranges and lemons, the sticky sweetness of potential. I wait to dark windows, stiff fingers, the scent of sharp-edged brightness. And I'm closing up this winter section here with Log Cabin Quilt, Sunshine and Shadows. Humans create protective coverings, shelter from the elements. They burrow into another one's heart and are surprised by the electrical storm awaiting them there. And here are the springtime poems. Emily's New Moon. This is another one for Ms. Dickinson, as I said, a sort of patron saint of this whole project. Fools and moths, newly reborn. The cliffside topple, the faith that dappled wings will hold. Pink Triumphant. This line is from a F. Scott Fitzgerald story. I have had F. Scott Fitzgerald on my mind because I always do, but also I am currently taking some Charleston dance classes, and so that's bringing him even more to the forefront. He met his wife Zelda at a country club dance, so maybe some version of what I'm doing right now. The Pink Triumphant. My rose petal softness deceives you. You underestimate me. You have always underestimated me. When your back is turned, my revolution of sunrises and chiffon will carry the day. And I'm giving a little symmetry by bookending this section with another moon-related poem. I write about the moon a lot. You know, witches love the moon. This one's called Snow Moon. My old self lies on the floor, slightly iridescent, crinkling like cellophane, smelling faintly of dead roses and cream. I am empty and smiling. My mouth carries the iron taste of blood. And summertime. So it's called Sun and Salt and Sea. In your memories, you're on another continent and in another century. The smell of salt never leaves your skin, and the sirens reach out their arms to you as the sea swallows the great shining sphere of the sun. It is summer, newly born. This one is called Triptych. 1. Blindingly bright moon over black bottomless lake. 2. The strong, sweet smell of honeysuckle and the cool condensation of a glass of iced tea against your palm. 3, tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow, stretching down an endless mirrored corridor. One of the best pieces of writing advice I've ever gotten is focus more on sensory details and not just describing how things look, which is what people tend to fall into most easily. And so that's something I try to pay more attention to now, what those smells of honeysuckle and uh, iced tea glass condensation. Free tip for all of y'all. Um, this last one I'm going to close with is called The Girl Who Swallowed the Sun, uh, a title that I improbably used twice without realizing I'd already used it. Uh, so now I combined it. It is a great phrase though, right? Um, 1, honey infused with petals of blazing yellow, jars ensconced in tomb walls, storing sweetness for the eternal hereafter. Lips stained with cherries, the color of blood, fingers leaving impressions on my arm, a delirious, drowsy heat and the smell of smoke. 2, you can always find her in the dark. Her skin is luminous and her heart is bright with certainty, bright with impatience, bright with the knowledge of all that remains undone. And those are ones I have for you today. I know I have a much longer period, but my poems are so short. And if I filled a whole half hour, I would read the entire book. And then why would you bother buying the book? And you should really buy the book. So,
And
um,
you're welcome to read things that are not in the book also if
ah,
you.
that's true, but I have to reserve material for the next book, Marissa. No spoilers.
You're just to hook them. That's right. Hook them and pull them in that way. Absolutely.
Um, I hope this gives people sort of a sense of what my poems are like. I use a lot of that, yeah, natural imagery, a lot of very visceral imagery. Um, uh, some of them are very dark. They're not, but some of them are hopeful. Some of them I think are maybe even dark and hopeful at the same time, which is a real trick to pull off. Um, so
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Sounds it's wonderful. I welcome everyone to unmute their mics and cheer for Quinn. I mean, it's hard to come up here and read, right? And give her a big round of applause for her feature.
Yay.
Me little icons on the screen. And feel free to use the chat as well if you would like to drop any sort of like praise or anything like that you would want to share with Quinn. The chat is available for you to use. So some Q&A time. I really enjoy the question and answer part, and so you're also welcome to type questions into the chat if you would like to ask Quinn a question, or you can raise your virtual hand or your physical hand, or anything you'd like to come and unmute and ask her is absolutely fine. Not a problem. It sounds lovely, right? It is lovely, Kim. You're right. Okay, so now I'm curious. In the intro, you gave a shout out to your second grade teacher.
Yes.
Have you ever found your teacher?
I really should try. I don't remember her first name. Well, you know, it's like your teachers don't even have first names, right? But
Right, right.
I bet my parents remember, and I should see if I can track her down. I am still in touch with um 3 of my 4 high school English teachers who are also very formative for me. We are Facebook friends. And so they know about the exciting path they helped me along, but I should try to track down Mrs. Bale.
we if we ever do that, if we track them down, we should invite all of your educators
Oh, yeah.
and do a special like reunion show.
Oh, that would be awesome.
That would be so awesome. Maybe
Yeah.
we could totally even do like we could create a whole show which is like a poetry reunion, which is
Yeah.
getting poets back together with people who really inspired them and telling
Yeah.
stories. You know, hindsight's 2020. We sometimes when we're in that situation, right? We're in school, we're young, we're
Hmm.
aspiring, we're kind of just blooming.
Hmm.
And the whole world is still in front of us. We don't realize that we're in the good old days until the good old days are gone, right? And
Yeah.
you look back and you're like, wow, that person really inspired me. That person really helped shape who I am today.
Hmm.
And when we get more settled, kind of down the road in life, we're able to really look back with a gratitude perspective. And I think that that would be a lovely thing to try to accomplish. So if you want some help in trying to locate your teacher, I'm totally happy with helping as well. I'm sure the school district would have her
Mm.
contact information.
Yeah, yeah.
Just give it out, but we can write a letter even on your behalf to the school district asking them to have her contact us or contact
Oh,
you, to try to bridge some sort of communication. I think that would be so exciting.
that
does,
would be exciting.
does that
Yeah.
sound exciting like to anyone else, or am I just nerding out here?
Well, I want to give a shout out to also my friend Kim here, who is also an English teacher, and well, not my never my teacher, but a friend who
Well,
is
she's
also
your
a
teacher.
teacher,
I'm
and
sure
I
she
know
taught you stuff,
is
just not maybe in the classroom.
yeah doing lots of awesome stuff. When I first graduated with my English degree, people would jump to the assumption that I must want to go into teaching, and a noble calling, doing God's work, literally changing lives, but I do not have the personality type. I know myself well enough to be aware there's not for me. Um
And I have close friends, like I have personal close friends who teach elementary school, like
mhm,
kindergarten, first, second, third, who teach middle school, some who teach up higher up, like university level
mhm,
instruction. And so but we're that's because we're getting older. We're seeing it, and I'm watching sometimes like my friend who teaches kindergarten. I'm like, do you realize you're shaping the lives of these little humans, and you can
mhm,
almost tell who's going to be a poet when they're in kindergarten, who really is a bookworm, who's going to carry that into their future. And
mhm.
so, yeah, big shout out to all of the teachers and the educators. Thank you so much. But let's look into that. Let's find your teacher. I think
All
that would
right.
be an exciting show to do.
Mission
Um,
accepted.
yeah, all right, sounds good. And okay, so what did you kind of answered one of the questions during your feature, so I'll highlight that in a second. But what did you love most about the process of publishing your book?
Oh, well, good question. I loved the supports and the community that you were able to provide, and the structure with for those who don't know, Rare Green Books releases like a cohort of debut poets together, and it's been really cool to be able to have those opportunities to do readings and events with the other debut poets. I it was difficult in some ways, but also very heartening for me to look through my all the poetry I've written over the years and try to figure out what am I going to put in this, this thing that I've been dreaming of for all this time, and realizing that actually, yeah, I've got a lot of good poems, and I'm giving myself the credit for that. But I definitely am glad I had that made that structure for myself of the seasonal themes so that I had some sort of skeleton to build off of. I think if I just had an entire blank book to fill with like no guidance that way, it would have felt really overwhelming. So it was a fun challenge to be able to go through things, figure out what seemed right, uh, find poems that I had, forgotten about and realize, oh, this is pretty good. And,
It is true, like, especially if you write for any length of time and you
mhm,
go back and you look at, work from 1 year, 5 years, 10 years,
mhm,
and then like how you are today, sometimes the styles change, sometimes the styles vary, but
mhm,
generally I think we tend to sharpen ourselves as we gain experience in writing. Things in our lives begin to influence us and our perspectives, right? We
mhm,
older, so our perspectives on things kind of shift and we see things differently, so then we interpret them with our pen a little bit differently. So it is interesting to go back and look at some of the work, and like, for example, I found an old folder of mine from high school. It was
mhm,
25 years ago, okay?
mhm.
And I was reading my poems from 25 years ago, and it was dark. And I was like, I knew I was a sad kid, but wow,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I had a lot of things I struggled with as a teenager. And so reading that back, I was like, wow, I wish I could go and hug that girl, right?
Mhm,
So,
mhm.
we it's exciting because we know there's more coming, but to be able to go back and reflect on what you've been doing. And when poets come to publish here, they get a one-on-one session with me, and that's one of the things we talked about, was how to set up the book to where it would, like you say, have a structure, have a skeleton, to go in and fill. And I think it's a wonderful choice to do the seasons and to set the book up like that, because it really gives the reader the opportunity to either pace themselves or to set themselves up for what they're going to experience. So you can take different thematic poems and put them together collectively within the vision of a book. And Quinn has done that very well. And you had mentioned, sensory, focusing on sensory details. This
Mhm.
is a really important thing. And one of the questions I was going to ask you was, what's your advice for the next poet? So you'll have to think of something real quick. But
Oh.
tip on focusing on sensory details, so for example, hot cup of coffee, right? Well, hot, like, there's other synonyms, cup, how is this, this is the thing that's going to get me through the day, right? Where's the metaphor, where's the sensory on this, the steam, the smell, all of the senses, but digging deeper into not just smell, sight, touch, taste, sound. It's what are those things, like, on a more profound level. And Quinn does that very well in her poems. There's a lot of experience behind that. I mean, she's a young woman, but she has a lot of experience with writing, for anyone who who knows her. So while you're thinking about advice, I want to read Matthew's question he has for you.
Mhm.
And I apologize if I'm using the wrong pronouns. So their question is:
Oh,
Did publishing a book give you any ideas on how to change your zining process?
uh, that's a great question. I am embarrassed to admit I have not made any zines since I started working on this book. So I don't have an answer for that right now, but
You know what you could do? You could do a found poem from all of your poems and make a mini
Ooh.
zine found poem from all your poems.
Oh, that would be really interesting. Yeah, I will say I just had an opportunity at a sort of mini flea market event to sell some zines and talk to people about zines. And when I'm in an environment like that where I'm thinking very much about zines and telling people how cool they are, it makes me feel inspired to make some new zines. So, uh, yeah, I think I mean I make zines about all kinds of things also, I should say, not just poetry. But
If ever you want to do a
yeah.
zine workshop, you come to,
Yeah.
come to the Word is Right and we'll do a Zoom workshop on making zines.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
so much fun. Kind of like
My
an art and craft writing workshop. and
That would,
really all you need is paper and a pen. So it's, very easy for people to have the supplies on hand to do that.
yeah, yeah, that would be super cool. I would love that. Oh, I did just think of a an additional thing I had to say about your earlier question, Marissa, about the process of making this. One of the highlights for sure was going through the cover design process with Elizabeth, one of the super talented in-house poets and artists at Rare Green Books. It was just thrilling to be, I had this image in my head and to just have these one-on-one meetings with Elizabeth and be able to describe this thing and then see her make it real. And it's so gorgeous, the art that she came up with for my
Here,
cover.
I'll do a screen share and I'll show you. I pulled up the website. Here, I'll do a screen share, and you'll see there'll be. I mean, there's two other covers on this page, but
Yeah.
you can see. Can you see it? Is it pulled up yet? There
Ah,
it
there
is.
we go. So yeah, so that's mine in the middle. Again, this is you have to buy the book because
Yeah.
it's like a gatefold sleeve. You have to fold it out because the cover moves across the back to the front cover. But it's just beautiful. And I read an article just a couple of days ago about authors who have really frustrating experiences when they're getting published by the big houses
Of
and
course.
the cover design is completely out of their hands
Yeah.
and then they get things that they might really not like. And it just reminded me how grateful I am to. I keep telling people that a hybrid publisher like Rare Green Books is like the best of both worlds because
Mhm.
you get to have the creative control of self-publishing, but you get to have all the support of
Mhm.
traditional publishing. You don't have to run all around trying to find somebody to do things like design your cover. So yeah, it was a nice reminder of how lucky I am in this experience.
And we also do push to nominate books for book awards, and
Hmm.
so one of our long-term goals is to have every single book nominated for some sort of book award. We have an award nomination committee which is comprised of all of volunteer in-house authors, so you guys will be getting an email if you want to volunteer for that as well. But we're trying to build a community here of poets who can kind of pave the way for the next poets. And so, Quinn joined this year off of the 2023 debut poets, and she's paving the way for the 2025 debut poets. And so the legacy of having you in your book here, I think is just, it's so epic and it's so much fun to watch this unfold, and I'm so glad that we've done it this way so that you don't have to do it by yourself. And it's a totally valid point that you bring up, the fact that you lose so much artistic control with large publishing houses. As an author, as a poet, myself, I built this press as a way to eliminate the things that you don't like with traditional publishing houses. And I think you're right, it is the best of both worlds. And Elizabeth Oots did your cover art, and she's phenomenal. I got to meet her in person in Charlotte this year. She's a beautiful soul. She's a debut poet as well. She was 2022. And so, having these poets helping poets and building this community of people who've gone through it, and now you've gone through it. And so you can kind of help, the next wave of poets. And you absolutely know why Emily, sent you to me. And I just love Emily to death. I got to meet Emily in person as well. She's a lovely woman. Now we do another question. Kim is asking, what are three favorite books of poetry that have inspired you on this journey?
Put me on the spot, Kim. I'm like, just three. God.
And you don't
Um,
have to say three if you want
yeah.
to list like maybe one, or maybe something recently that you've read.
Well, I've already talked quite a bit about Emily Dickinson. So I will set her aside momentarily. Um, I I guess I would first say Ariel by Sylvia Plath, another fellow Smith College grad. One of here I have to show off my tattoo here. This is from one of her poems, and the line is, "The blood jet is poetry, there is no stopping it." As you all saw, I have a lot of visceral imagery like that in my own writing, and I use blood as a representative of creation and inspiration, everything a lot. And so, um, yeah, that book for sure. Also a lot of being unafraid to confront the darkness in one's soul. Is very inspiring for me. Um, let's see. I don't want to pick just one of I'm going to cheat and just say every single thing I read in my class on the Romantics, one of my absolute best classes at Smith. Um, I that's it's still absolute favorites there. Um, and lots of different ways to be inspired there because like the poetry of Keats is wildly different than the poetry of Byron and the poetry of Blake. Like all of them, lots of different ways to be inspired, which I like. I like when there's this sort of breadth of styles that you can be hit by in different ways at different times. Um,
And I encourage people to read like lots of different varieties of poetry, not just in your era, right? Some people they don't go
mhm,
back and read, you know, the
mhm,
old poetry. I old, it's not
yeah,
old, but like they don't read, you know, poetry
yeah.
from the past or from a different generation. And it's so important to do those things and then read, you know,
Mhm,
current people. I have Amanda Gorman's book, and I always set it out when I do my
mhm,
backyard open mics at my home in case people want to read poetry from different people. And what's really cool, what's really interesting, another thing that I did here at Red or Green Books that is very different than other publishing houses is that you can buy the full set of debut poetry books together in one collection so that you can read authors that you've never met before. And the fun part about that is when someone buys that collection, Quinn's book goes with that. And so,
mhm.
you know, people will have her book who never knew her before and have a chance to experience her poetry that just simply because they got the full set. And so those things are really great opportunities. So I highly encourage you all to go and research different authors in your area. Maybe go buy the poet laureate in your area, that go buy their book, go read them, right? Go find out what they're all about. Hey, maybe poet laureate's right up your alley, Quinn. You know, you got to speak this into
Oh.
existence for sure. All right, and then let's see. Emily asks, do you hope to ever publish fiction? I've read your fiction writing and it's absolutely stunning.
Uh,
So what's up with this fiction writing?
that's very kind of you, Emily. Emily and I have been very close friends going back to our adolescence, and so Emily is definitely someone who has been along for the ride with me on this journey, and so it's especially nice to hear that from someone that I've known and treasured for so long as a friend. Ah, I always think of myself primarily as a poet, but the truth is I do write quite a bit of fiction
Maybe
too.
you're just a
But I
storyteller, right?
yeah.
It's not necessarily a poet or a
Yeah,
writer.
yeah.
You're a
I
storyteller.
I would love to publish fiction. I part of the issue is I'm not very good as an editor. And a lot of the fiction I've written is during NaNoWriMo. For anybody who doesn't know, National Novel Writing Month. It's this completely absurd, completely amazing event that takes place every November where you attempt to write an entire 50,000 word novel in November.
Yeah,
Uh, I recommend it to everyone. It's incredibly liberating because the beauty of it is you don't have time to worry about making it good. You just get the words
right.
out
You
and you
just go.
don't have time to second guess yourself. And what I always say, what I tell people about is then you have to go back to that first draft and like actually hammer it into something good, and that's the part I struggle with. So I would need to develop more of those skills,
You could
which
storyboard.
yeah,
I would
yeah,
storyboard your book. Like that
yeah,
is a great way to, have the major events happening, and then so
mm-hmm.
I would storyboard the whole thing and then
Yeah,
just start dissecting each chunk. I mean, if you really are wanting to sit down and try to do that, you could also do character development for each
yeah,
individual person. For me, like I've written 3 novels. For me, sometimes I know, like I have it storyboarded in my head, and I know the major, like, stops along the journey, but I have no idea
mm-hmm.
what's going to happen.
Yeah,
And like that, I go dun 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 dun, dun. And I type like 56 Guam, 50, 60 Guam. And so I'll just hammer out something super fast. Now, if you really want to like punish yourself, you could do what I did and turn it into a screenplay,
mm.
because that's like totally it was never again. But it's a wonderful way
Yeah,
to dissect the book, to work on how would I change dialogue, right? And so if you
mm-hmm.
think about it thematically like a screenplay, it really makes you hone in on the dialogue, especially since in screenplays dialogue is much sharper, it's much
Mm-hmm.
shorter. You only have so many things you can pack into that, usually
Yeah.
20-minute
Well,
mark or whatever.
on a similar note, uh, I see. I have like two modes with fiction. I have the write 50,000 words in a month, just a total outpouring. Always feeling very inspired at those times by Jack Kerouac, another influence. Writing all of On the Road, continuous scroll of paper in like 3 weeks. But my other mode is drabbles. They're exactly 100 words, which is a great exercise to really sharpen your writing because you have to make sure that every single word is really pulling some weight and has a reason to be there. And so that's probably the fiction I've written that I feel the most confident in as far as being polished enough to share with people because you have to be so focused in doing it. I have taken like an hour to write a single drabble when I could have written like 5, 10,000 words if it were an Anna project. So you have to
Absolutely.
really focus. But I guess I've now that I've got all this momentum from having this book published, I mean, we'll see what happens next, you know. I would love to just find more things of all sorts that are ready to get out into the world. So,
And when you get to that point, I mean, we can always talk. People have asked me quite a bit, do I only publish poetry? And the answer to that is no. I really want to get into children's
hmm
literature as well. But so when you
hmm
get to that point where you're getting closer to, wanting to look and see what that looks like, we can take that journey if you want, and start to feel that out and see how that would
Noted.
look. But yeah, okay. So then the last question is, what is your advice for the next authors? Am I
Ah,
skipping the audio?
I
Sorry.
would say just uh, oh, you're fine. I just got a your internet connection is unstable error, so I hope I'm okay. Uh,
Oh, no, no. I can
but
hear you.
I
You're good.
okay, cool. I mean, I would say just take that leap. I in one of the poems I read today, I had a reference to the Fool Tarot card, which is an energy I've really been feeling throughout this process and with some other major changes in my life in recent days also. Um, just that for people who are not familiar with tarot, the fool, you can look up the image, but he's about to jump off the side of a cliff. And which is a very scary thing, right? But it's about having that faith that the leap will end well, even if it seems terrifying as you're making it. It's just that that faith that the universe will take care of you and that you'll land on your feet. I, like I said, this is a dream I've had for basically my entire life. And I'd actually spoken with Emily Cordes, not Dickinson, Emily, my Smithy friend, who hooked me up with Marissa when she got her first book published several years ago. And even then, I had this part of me that was very, I should try to do this. I have a connection. I could get in touch. I could finally do this thing I've been dreaming of all this time, but it felt so terrifying. So I did not pursue it at that time, but yeah, been taking other big leaps lately, and it felt finally like I was ready. And it's been this incredible experience. So I think that's my advice. Just do it. You will not be sorry. It's worth it.
And I do want to emphasize, we are an invitation only publishing house. We're not a vanity press. We don't publish everyone.
Mhm.
There's an interview process. I generally pick people to publish who I enjoy, who
Oh,
I know
yes.
are gonna, put out good work, but also who are a joy to work with. So you could be the best poet, but if you're hard or difficult to work with, I might not want to publish you because we don't have
Yeah.
time, right? We are a team. This is a very team oriented press. The launches are team oriented as well. But I do encourage people, if you're considering publishing a book or a book of poetry or a subsequent book of poetry, you're welcome to reach out to me. It's real easy. It's just Marissa at reddergreenbooks.com. That is my email. And we can set a time to talk about your book. But it's a wonderful journey. I never know who's going to come through my door. I never know who I'm going to be publishing. It's exciting for me as it is for you. And to watch all these young people. I can't say young people because we publish all different ages from all over the world. We have a lot of international authors, but to watch young people like Quinn have a dream like this come true, especially so early in life, is such a joy for me because then I get to see what else is coming for you. What else does life have in store for you? It's exciting for me to watch and to be on this journey, and I'm very grateful to be your publisher, and I'm grateful that you brought your book here, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see it come to life in the flesh. All right.
Yeah.
But that is it for our show today. Unless anyone has any other questions they would like to ask Quinn, I thank you so much for being here. Maybe one more time, Quinn, if you could tell people where to find you, follow you,
Uh,
get your book, all that good stuff.
yes. So I am just at quinncolor.com. I will drop that in the chat. And yeah, but also it's literally just my name. Uh and got links to those socials on there. Come follow me and give me encouragement to actually do some posting. Uh I think everyone here again have like amazing friends and my mom. I think everybody's already pre-ordered a copy who's here right now that I can see. But if you're in the future, watching the recording of this, quinncollar.com, and the books will be in my hot little hands very soon, and I'll be able to. I've had people asking me like, when is it? When am I getting my copy? Which is really exciting. So yeah, thank you so much, everyone.
And big shout out
I
again to
really
Elizabeth Oots for doing your cover art too.
yes,
Uh,
yes.
that is it's wonderful. And yeah, thank you all of your reliable friends and mom.
That's right.
I
Yeah.
love that. But yeah, so quinncollard.com. You can go to the website redorgreenbooks.com to read about Quinn, to read the reviews, to get her book this month, $5 off with coupon code SHATTER. And then we'll get you that book sent in the mail. Yeah, and we'll see you back in September. We'll be back
Yeah.
here with Laura Lila from the Debut Poets launch as well, and she'll be debuting her book. So that's quinncollard.com. Anything else, Quinn, before we finish?
Uh, just a huge thanks to you, Marissa. As I said on my acknowledgments page, Marissa is just making it all happen, and much appreciated the the cheerleader and the organizer and all the things for all of us. So thank you, Marissa,
You're very
and
welcome.
thank you
Let's
again,
go find your
everyone.
second grade teacher. Let's go. We're gonna find your second
Yes.
grade teacher. Get all the teachers in.
Yeah.
We'll do a reunion. I think that would be so nostalgic. I'm like so nerdy like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Sure I can do.
Thank you all of her friends and family for coming out and supporting her. This video is going to be up on the Facebook page for Red or Green Books, but I will upload it eventually to the YouTube channel. So please like, share, subscribe, and follow everywhere. Red or Green Books and the word is right. That really helps us with our numbers get videos and features like Quinn's in front of more people. But otherwise, peace and blessings. Thank you all so very, very much. We'll see you in September. Have a wonderful day, Quinn. Okay.
Yay. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.